Good morning. I am Tessa-Marie and welcome to the Morning Blessings. How are you feeling today? Today is Tuesday. Oh my goodness, September 24th, 2024. Hi Stacy. Rain and rain and rain today. I woke up a little bit, so I was rushing to get here. Didn't have a chance to say hi to you this morning, but you know I love you. So hello Rosita, good morning. I love you ladies. I love you. Today it's raining. I don't know if it's raining all over, but it looks like it's raining and it's dark. It hasn't even it doesn't even look like this. Well, the sun is having a hard time shining like some of us on some days in our life. So I have to ask you guys a question this morning. How are you feeling today? How are you feeling today? What did you say to your best friend this morning? The one in the mirror. That friend. Good morning, Christina. Welcome back. How are you guys feeling today? Hello, Loretta. How are you feeling today? What did you say to your friend in the mirror this morning? Did you criticize your friend or did you tell your friend you're okay? Everything is wonderful. Because we need to do that. As soon as we do that, we put on our cover, our armor, and nothing can break that. Because we know already we are good enough, we are worthy, and we are the best. We just said it to ourselves. So let's look at the morning blessing. Think of no. I am feeling that determined, confident, and ready to start my day. This is amazing. How is your dad doing, Stacy? Just let us know. Think of no. Why should we think of no? No. This no thing, right? This no. Why should we think of no? Why should we go in and think of no? Because there's so many things happening in the no. I know this seems weird, but Tessa-Marie, why should I think of no? We have to think of no. Because that's nice to hear, Stacey, because no is when it happens. It never happens when it's not now. It happens now. Because the miracles we're looking for happens in the no. So how do we think of no? We think of no by asking ourselves this one question. Is what I am thinking no, or planning to do no, or being pushed to do no by somebody else, by being encouraged to do no, by a friend, by a family member, is that going to give me what it is I am looking for? Good morning, Colin. How are you feeling today? And that is what no is all about. In the moment, somebody has decided, for them, it's the perfect time to drop in on you. No. Well, what are you home? I'm coming over. What do you say though? Because you're caught off guard, you go, okay. And then if you're misclean, you're looking and see if everything is tidy. Or you go, okay, and you're doing this. When you find yourself looking around you, because that person is coming to visit you and they chose the time, they need to be done Wednesday, Thursday. Thanks. They need to be done. They need to come over. And you are feeling, but no, you have to stop in the moment and ask yourself, if they come over now, will I be able to do the things I plan to do today? And although we talked about friendship, but even in friendship, we have to decide. Because somebody might want to come into your space today now. But what about you having other plans? How do you manage that? I talk about never saying, always standing up for your friends. But if you are truthful for now and you say, you know what, I would love for you to come over, but it's not convenient right now. How many times we need to say that and we don't? And we sit there and our pressure goes up while we are entertaining them. We are not really paying attention to them. We are thinking of, wow, I should, I don't need to hear that. And sometimes that person is just coming to tell you what's going on in their life and has no room to tell you, let you tell them what's going on in your life. So that is why you have to think of now. Is now the right time for you to do this? If you do it now, will it help you to reach your dream goal or desire? And that is, I'm using a human because our word is friendship. So friendship means you always have to be able to speak the truth. And you as the friend hearing the truth or as it is spoken, or you being the one that is speaking the truth, should understand that others have other responsibilities that are happening in the now for them. And we have to allow them to say no sometimes. And no, when they say no to us, we should not look at the transactional situation that we've had going on for a little while and say, you know what? You are saying no to me, I want to come over. And so many times you just drop by and I had the time for you. How do you handle that? You can say, well, I wish you had told me then you couldn't see me. Had I known, I would have understood. No, that's hard to do. All of those things are difficult for us to put together. But the only way we can do that is to be in the moment of now. The only way we can tell somebody exactly what we're experiencing is for you to be aware. What are you doing? Oh, you're home, I'm coming over. Excuse me, I would love for you to come over, but I'm only home because I have something coming. I have a repair person. Be honest. And you, the friend, accept the honesty of another one. Blood pressure goes up. And we think it's because of what we eat. But sometimes it's what we are tolerating by others, their behavior that is pressing on us. Our nerve is saying, no, I do not like it. I don't want to be doing this right now. And we are unable to stand up and say no. And I understand why we cannot say no as adults. Because when we were children, they beat it with a stick right out of us. When you could hardly speak and I could hardly speak, when we could hardly speak, and we said to our parents, no want it, no like it. But they pushed us and said, well, don't say no to me. You better don't say no to me. I did it a little differently. I asked, why? Why don't you want it? Why don't you like it? Why don't you want to go? It was just because of the curiosity. I wanted to know what this person is thinking, because they can give an answer, and that allows us to get the answers. But when we sit there and we just stamp our no on somebody that is less than 2 feet tall, for years, they go to school at the age of 3, where I come from, 4 in North America or whatever, and the teacher says, no, can I go to the washroom? No, you can't. Not now, wait until recess. And their poor little thing is holding on to their legs and waiting for recess like that. What do you think this is doing? But when they grow up and they're 12, we said, you have to say no to drugs. Just say no. How can we say no when we weren't taught to believe that we had an opinion? Children are to be seen, not to be heard. All of that was no. So when you have the opportunity, think of the moment now. Make a promise to yourself. I'm going to think of now. What it is I know I desire to do now. Because if you miss that, miracles happen in the now. They do. Inspirations happen in the now. So you're thinking of doing something, and you're waiting for the inspiration, or you're walking. You have gone for a walk. You went across the street. You went down the park, and you say, you know what? I'm going to just turn on my phone and do a live while I'm walking. I'm going to take my camera and take some pictures of sceneries that I can do something if, and make a live of it, paint it, do something with it. And you're going now, and you notice the phone is ringing, and you know if you pick it up, you will miss that inspiration that drove you out of the house to do something. But we cannot say no. So we pick up the phone and we have lost everything. So think of now as one of the most important moments, because it is. The doors open in the now. you're not in the moment of now, you will never see the doors that are cracked open for you to step in, to have a chance to make a difference in your life, to grow a little bit, to learn something a little bit. Because a door might open because somebody has asked you to do something, and you have decided, I'm not doing it for her. If I do it, I will just make her feel better. If I come to her live, she'll just get followers. But are you going to get something from it? If you press that button and you watch somebody speak about something, will you learn one thing from it? Think of the no, because you have been begging and beseeching and praying and asking and to learn something, to do something. And a door cracks open. But behind the door sits somebody you know, and they're on a different trajectory to win. But you don't want them to be successful. So instead, you're seeing it from you helping them instead of they dropping a nugget in your hands. Think of the nugget. I know a golden nugget is nothing like the black pearl I might give you, or the rare pink Canadian diamond I might give today. So you look at the value and you say, it's just a little golden nugget. But if you have an opportunity and you come across a little golden nugget, put it under a microscope. A nugget has tiny crevices, little holes, little bend. It's not smooth. It's a funny little piece of gold. But inside of each of these little crevices is something different, something new, an opportunity, just that little thing you need to tell you you can make it. Good morning, Jilly. So that is what you have to remember. Remember that when you think of no, you have to be in the moment to absorb that energy that is in the moment of no. And make sure that you are seeing the tiny different shapes and ideas from that little tiny nugget. So you open the door and you go in. That's pushing the nugget. You might say it looks black in there. You take a toothpick and you clean that little one. And you keep going. You might take an old toothbrush and some toothpaste and you clean that little golden nugget. And suddenly it shines. What is that toothpick? What is that toothpaste and old toothbrush? What is that? You open the door. You clear your mind. That was digging it out with the toothpick. You clear my mind. There is something I need to learn differently. I need to function completely on a different level. How do I get that little nugget to shine a little more so that I understand it, I comprehend it? So you take your brush, old toothbrush, and a little bit of toothpaste and you put it in the palm of your hand and you polish that little golden nugget. You're thinking, you're you're grasping the no. And the minute you have that, now you can take that and be inspired by what you heard to change your life. And it's not a big one, it's a tiny thing, but you know, as I said, if you take your pen and you make a dot on a piece of paper, that is the lettuce seed. But look at what it grows. Or you might be the person that have tomatoes in your garden and a few of them you didn't see they burst. And lo and behold, you have tomatoes you didn't plant and they're growing. That was the tiny thing that grew to give you what it is. So do not ignore the no. Think of it. Step into it. Grasp what it is offering you and stay there. Doors open in the moment of no. Doors of opportunity happens in no. The opportunity happened. Where were you when that opportunity was flashing by you? Where did you go? What did you see? Were you there? Were you know? Have you ever been somewhere listening or watching a movie with another person and they are telling you about it and you say, I never saw that. I never saw that. Sometimes that was never in the movie. But where were you? Were you in the moment of now? Or were you watching with your eye and your brain was somewhere else? Because you weren't in the moment of now. We have to engage the brain for us to understand the moment of now. We have to engage our brain. My father told me, you do not listen with your ear if you want to learn. If you want to learn, forget using your ears to hear what the person is saying. Force your brain to listen so that your brain is not going on its own merry way when you're pushing your ear to listen. Hear what she's saying. Feel what she's saying. Feel it. Feel what that person is saying. The minute you challenge and you put forward that brain of yours into gear to feel the words or the thoughts or the inflection in that person's voice, your ears just calms down. But the most important thing, having engaged your brain, you get it all. Without feeling, you will not comprehend what's happening. So that's why you have to think of now. And when you think of now, get into now, stay there, push on it and say, I am holding on. Because somehow, some way, I know this will happen. And you have to believe that. But you have to engage your brain for you to be in the moment of now. You can be in the moment of now and you're driving and your brain is not in the moment of the drive. You've seen it. It's not because that person is looking at the phone that they did not see the hole in the street. It's because their brain was engaged in something else. And their eye just followed where the brain was going. So one of the things, hello, Rose Dula, how are you? Long time no see. So one of the things we have to learn for sure is think of now, like now, the moment of now as the most important thing in our life. Nothing happens if you're not in the now moment. If you cannot think it or taste it or feel it, it's not now. Engage the brain and your ear will be able to hear more and the brain will feel it and you will understand it. Think of now. Life begins in the now. We all know that. It's only when we... I should laugh. Rosie Dula just came on and she's exactly what she is. And I just said, life begins in the now. I told you guys, I wake up and what is downloaded, that is what I use. Why did Rosie show up? You heard me. I said, I haven't seen you for a long time. But here she is and she knows all about when life begins. It's in now. It's in the moment of conception. And then when Rosie is there to help to deliver the baby, it's now. Life begins in now. So the decision to go and fall in love and get romantic with somebody under the sycamore tree is now. The conception is now. It's not later. It's today. It's now. So we have to realize that one thing we do for sure is to think of now. Because when we are making a choice and we are not haven't engaged the brain and we are listening to something else because we are only using our ear and we are not engaging our feelings in it, we make choices that sometimes comes back to haunt us. Like the friend that says, I'm dropping in now. But you really cannot see her now. And it might be best for you to change it, but you cannot say no because you weren't taught to say no. You weren't taught to say no, and you made a choice. Although while you're making the choice, you're saying, damn it, I shouldn't do this. But no was beaten out of you at the age of 3 and 2. No want to, no like, no this, no that. Don't tell me no. And then at 12, oh, say no to drug. Really? Honestly? How can I say no when you beat it out of me? Awareness is in the now. Are you aware of where you are? We're sometimes never aware. We are just there. Who are you with? Think of now. Who are you with in this moment? Is that person going to help you reach your goal? Is that person going to help you to fall on the sidewalk? Is that person the right person for you to be frequenting? What are they offering you? Think of now. Now they're telling you you're not good enough. You will never amount to anything. I told some of you know that story. I was walking at Jane and Finch in Toronto. Not walking, I was driving. And I came to this intersection to summertime, and this older lady is walking a little boy, and they're having a hand-holding situation going on. And all of a sudden, I heard her say, "You're going to be just like your father. You're not going to amount to anything. I have to hold your hands." So I looked at her, I looked at the little boy, and I'm thinking, oh, wow. He's not even 5, and you're telling him he won't amount to anything. Well, you know me, I love to get into trouble. I drove into the gas station. I parked the car on the side, and I followed her when she crossed, and I asked her, "Hi, how are you?" And I asked her, I just heard what you said to this little boy. Why did you do that? Why are you saying that to him? She said to me, he doesn't want me to hold his hand to cross the street. So I said, well, why didn't you tell him, give him a responsibility, and say to him, you know what? I'm teaching you how to hold my hand so that when I get older and I don't know how to cross the street, you will know how to do it and hold my hand. And her face changed, and suddenly somebody is telling her what you're doing in the moment, you can fix it. And she looked at me and she asked who I am, where you, whatever. So I told her where I worked and all of that thing. "Hi, Yuko, how are you feeling? And Dawn Marie, how are you feeling this morning?" So anyway, I asked her, whose child is it? My son. Where's your son? And he's in jail. Okay, so I didn't say much to her. I said, there's a business card. I work not too far. Drop in to see me. So she started coming to see me. But what I'm saying to you in the moment is that her words, the thinking of now moment, to tell this 4.5-year-old, you are not going to amount to anything. Think of the now moment. I'm sure it was stressful. She didn't know what she was doing, and there was no clarity to separate what she's experiencing from now. And that is difficult. I have it in my goal setting journal. I said, one of the questions I ask in the journal, with every 40 pages there's something, and one of them, it said that, is my action in the moment going to take me closer or further away from my dream goals and desires? Will this action, ask yourself this, will this action take me closer or further away from my desire? So it depends though. But to be in the moment and to be able to ask that question is because you're thinking of now. You're now. You're not walking with your eyes on your phone. You're not driving while you're having a fight with your husband or wife. You are not chewing without breathing. You are not speaking out of turn. You're not accepting without realizing what you're accepting. You're not giving out what you shouldn't give out to someone who is working towards attaining their dream goal and desire. The old saying is, if you cannot say something good, shut up. I wish there was another way to put it. If you cannot see something good happening for this other human being, shut up. Or offer something. Do not force it on them. Reference yourself. What have you done to change your life? And if you ask me that question, I can tell you What I did to change my life was realizing that I am worthy, that I am good enough, that I have something I need, I like, that I love to speak. I love reading. I found out it was so amazing to wake up early in the morning. I found that was what it is. Those are the things I picked up. It's not easy getting up at 4:15. It's not easy getting up at 8 o'clock. But I much prefer getting up at 4:15, so I'm ready and to focus, to be in the now moment with you. So I can get down the stairs without rushing to come here because I'm on time. Think of the now. Thoughts happens in the now. Your thoughts come through now. They don't come through later. What are we doing with that thought? Is it the right time to call your friend and tell her off? Or is it better to just let it go for now? Like the man said in that movie, The Prisoner of Zenda. He lost his sword. He couldn't fight. He looked behind him and there was a window and a lake. And this one coming at him with a sword. Choose. Think of now. What is more important for him now? Live to fight another day. So what did he do? He jumped in the water. He took his chances when swimming rather than standing with a sword pointed towards him. We have to learn to do that. In a more West Indian style, it's not the same day your mother dies that you cry. All of us who have lost our mothers, we know too well. It's not the day that she dies you cry only. You cry the day that you remember something she made and you enjoyed it. You cry the day when you realize, if she was here, I would have hot water to shower in. You see what I mean? It's the now that matters. Always the now. And we need to understand what happens in the moment of now. Take full advantage of now. Always take full advantage of now. What can I do now? And if you doubt that you are wondering and you're saying, I'm so bored. I have never understood the word boredom. Because you have an imagination, you have a mind, you have thoughts, you have fingers. If you cannot write, you can speak. If you cannot speak, you can sing. If you cannot sing, you can dance. You can put on music. You can write something down. And you are bored. When last you sent a note to your sister? When last you said, I love you, with no strings attached? It's no. What can you do now that will make you feel good and enhance somebody? Instead of being like this older lady, and ponging, you're not good enough, he's fall. That is like crucifixion. You'll never amount to anything. That's like murder. You might as well take that soul out of him. And she realized it. She did change. And she realized, what did that happen? What happened? What made me do that? So we have to realize that. Capture the energy of now. Do it now. Do that thing you want to do that is scary. Do it now. Do that thing you want to do that might make you look silly, but do it now. Do that thing to make you laugh, and do it now. Do that thing that as you see somebody coming towards you, whether they look angry or not, you think in your mind, I'm sending love towards you. Do that thing that saves you a lot of anger by saying to that person that is coming to kill you, they're so angry because you're alive. Bless them. The God in me salutes the God in you. Maybe they don't get it, but the energy might cause them to walk past you and look back. Not in anger anymore, but what just happened there? Something hit me coming from there, that person. The energy you sent out, because you see, we are all made of energy. Capture the energy of now. There's energies flying all around us, and there's only one thing we can do. is to capture it, pick it, grab it, and save it so you can use it to do better next time. There is no other chance but now. There is nothing else but now. Because if we do not know now, we won't know. You see, the past is the history. 8 o'clock was history. What matters now is the last few seconds. That's in 8:29. 8:30 is a mystery. Right? The winds of time can change 8:30 into something we like or we don't like. So that is why, hello Peter, good morning. What we know for sure is the moment of now. It's only in the now that the miracles happen. Do not look for the miracle to come from the outside and come to you. That's reverse. Because that what you're picking and you're taking does not belong to you. Your miracle is born inside of you in the moment of now. It always is from in to out. Kylie decided the best thing for her to do is there's a chair in my bedroom and she thought it would be fun. So she's jumping from the chair to the bed. I'm not seeing anything. I'm looking at her and I'm just thinking, okay, how far can she go? Her mother wasn't there, otherwise I would have to. So anyway, she looked at me and she said, so can I jump from the bed to the chair? I said, no, I don't think that'll work. You'll end up in the garden and you'll just be buried in the dirt and I'll have to go out there and dig you. So she said, well, how will I get there? I said, well, when you hit the wall, you're going to break it and you'll go flying in the garden amongst the thorns from the roses. So she goes, oh, so it's not good, is it? No, I said, no. So you have to decide. You cannot jump from outside to inside. You have to jump from where you are to where you want to be. And that's the way it has to go. Have a wonderful and amazing morning, amazing human beings. No. Sissy says no. So, yes, Christina, Stacy, Peter, Rosita, Rosie, Raj, Loretta, and Dawn. Thank you, wonderful, amazing humans, for dropping by today. So, yeah, think of now. We do not have anything else. All we have is now. I love you. And I appreciate you guys choosing to push that button and join to be with me today in the moment of now. Think of now. Because after now, there is nothing left. Have a great day. Today, those of you, thank you, Rosie. Those of you who haven't joined the seminar, tonight we are having, thank you, Rosita. Tonight is the first seminar on the 5 pillars of prosperity. This one here at 7 p.m. we're starting, so I have to send the link to those of you who registered for that. It's 1 hour for 7 Tuesdays in a row, and on Saturday too. And it is, I'm so excited because you guys know the 5 pillars of prosperity is what helps push you to succeed, right? So this seminar is 1 hour. So tonight we're just talking about the pillars. So what you have to expect. And then next week we'll start with the emotional and we'll move through the pillars one at a time. I think it's amazing because if you are able to connect with those pillars of prosperity, it enables you to live a more fulfilled life because you will know, I'll call this morning, want to talk to you about tonight. Great. Then you will know what is happening when it's happening. As you know, the 5 pillars of prosperity is emotional, mental, spiritual, physical, and financial. And you need to have them working on all cylinders for you to live a fulfilled life. So, one of them cracks, like these fingers, something hurts. The other 4 has to pick up the slack. You have a team of 8 at work and one person is gone, then everybody's rushing to do it. So that's the same thing. So what we have to know is to know, I'm spending, the one that gets the hit in this time of the year is financial. But it's sometimes always financial. It's 90% a symptom of one of the other pillars, which is the cause. And if you know the cause of what is wrong with you, then you can fix it and avoid the symptoms. That is why when we go to the doctor, we say we have a headache, and he starts asking you questions, or you have a stomachache. And I was at the doctor yesterday, and he said to me, when he did my blood pressure, 114/68, whatever, so he said to me, your pressure is always fine. So I said to him, that's because I curse. I don't hold anything in. He just shook his head, and he just laughed and walked away from me. Why I'm saying that is that we need to take care to know where our emotions are. And that is why if we think of no, we can challenge our emotion. Because emotional prosperity bends heavily on our five senses. It's funny. We react to what somebody say to us. We could choose to walk away or run or stay there and fight. Emotional prosperity, what tastes, how it, how, and join loyalty, fear, lying, joy. Oh, that's interesting. So, for example, it's your five senses. What you see, like me, when I saw the lady with the child, that was emotional. When I heard, it was emotional that was connecting, And when I spoke, it was the taste that it left in my mouth that you're telling a 4-year-old he'll never amount to anything. So everything we experience emotionally stems from the five senses. What we see, what we hear, what we smell, what we taste, and what we touch. Spicy. You know what I mean? So anyway, we're starting tonight at 7. So if you're interested, send me a DM and you can join us tonight, 7 p.m. The 5 Pillars of Prosperity seminar begins. Have a wonderful, not 5 p.m., 7 p.m., 7 p.m. Have a wonderful and amazing day. I love you all. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.